my troubles away, like that lucky old sun. Give me nothing to do but roll around heaven all day.
WADR 103.5 LPFM. You're listening to WADR Mornings with Reese Wood. If you just tuned in, you were listening to Bob Dylan, That Lucky Old Sun. That's a 2015 release. It's currently 68 degrees outside. A little rainy today. 88% humidity. 24 to 29 mile per hour winds. It's an interesting one out there this morning. Looks like it will be possibly a little sunny going into tomorrow. We're looking at thunderstorms, and it looks like it's going to be cloudy the rest of the week. So 73, 75. It's looking like 75 tomorrow, 73 Thursday, and 67 Friday. So temps might be dropping towards the weekend. It's 7:20 a.m. at 103.5 FM. If you just are tuning in, I did a little opening on some current events and everything going on in Janesville over the Labor Day holiday. Right now, I'm going to get back into a slide presentation that you can find on the WADR Mornings Facebook page. If you missed anything this morning, I will provide a slide presentation. It's a pretty old school way of getting your information, but you can catch all the topics discussed from today's show at WADR Mornings Facebook page, or you can go to thebeloitpod.com where you can catch all the archives from WADR Mornings. Every episode will be posted there as of now. Getting back into some current events, it looks like Janesville's skate park, the public skate park, is now open. So what is the Janesville skate park? It looks like a 6,000 square foot precast concrete skate park at Bond Park. If you're familiar with Bond Park, the question mark shaped skate park is stacked with more than a dozen features, including a flat and curved concrete ramp and ledges, metal rails that allow skateboarders and bikers to ride and try different tricks and maneuvers. The city moved forward in building the $275,000 skate park at the 12-acre park. Years of planning and decisions about the cost and location were considered. So this was a long time in the making. Many people from Beloit have been waiting for a skate park. There's a lot of kids in this city, in the community, who are skateboarding everywhere and have been for years. So it's great to see that finally get done. The skate park is open to skateboarders and BMX riders of all ages, so you can't beat that. That's a pretty good deal. Also, I'm going to share some basic rules. There are some basic rules for the skate park. The skate park is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And use of alcohol, drugs, tobacco, and vaporized nicotine products are not allowed at the skate park. Glass bottles or containers are also not allowed at the skate park, and amplified music is also prohibited. For the grand opening, the city of Janesville will host a grand opening for the skate park from 1 to 3 p.m. That's Saturday, September 12th at Bond Park. Bond Park is located at 267 North Oak Hill Avenue. Of course, that's in Janesville. Hearing a little thunder outside. Sounds like it's gonna pick up raining this morning. So much for that sun. I did go over the Janesville Gazette this morning. I was looking at a couple articles. Pretty interesting stuff. Janesville police remain mostly white in changing society. I'm looking at that right now. If you want to chat with me during the next break about this article, you can go to the WADR Mornings Facebook page, and we can discuss that. I'm going to go to a song, and anyone who'd like to discuss the recent article I just brought up, I'm going to go into that a little bit more in a minute. That's Janesville's police remain mostly white and changing society. Kind of interesting there. Going to play a track here, and during the break, you can communicate with me and talk about the Gazette article or President Obama's new executive order, maybe what Scott Walker was doing in New Hampshire on Labor Day. Let's hear a little Men at Work this morning. WADR 103.5 FM, LPFM. If you're not familiar with low-powered FM radio stations, we are the only one in the Janesville area. I think we have a 3.5-mile radius. So if you're not familiar with low-powered radio stations, it's just like FM radio, only we are only in the community's area. So 3.5-mile radius, you can tune in every morning and catch me 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with WADR Mornings. Of course, right now I'm on the WADR Mornings Facebook page. That's where you can chat with me, send your suggestions to WADR, or maybe you have a song suggestion or request. Right now I don't have any communication going on the Facebook page, so I'm going to get back into the article I was talking about, Janesville Gazette. article put out just yesterday, September 7th, Janesville police remain mostly white in changing society. This is the top of Janesville Gazette page right now. Obviously, the demographics of Janesville are changing from predominantly white to increasingly going towards other ethnicities and demographics. I'm reading this article. It looks like a 5-year-old called up the police to get Officer Carrasco. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. My Spanish is not that great. Called up Officer Carrasco, and this kid's mother was sleeping. Obviously, it was not a big deal, but it did bring attention to some inequalities in our demographics. If you go to the WADR mornings page on Facebook, you're going to see a slide presentation. For now, I'm going to be posting slide presentations every morning. If you miss any of the topic issues I'm discussing, all you got to do is click on that slideshow and scroll through it, and you're going to see all the topics I hit this morning. It's an easy way to catch up on everything discussed. Of course, yesterday, President Obama issued a new executive order on Labor Day. He signed an executive order extending paid sick leave to an additional 300,000 federal workers. It's pretty good that the president showed some solidarity with workers yesterday, whether it's federal workers or workers in general. It's good to see some kind of progress. Moving ahead into what Scott Walker was doing yesterday, it looks like Scott Walker was in New Hampshire riding his union-made motorcycle around. I'm going to play a little clip from that quick. Let's hear what Mr. Walker had to say. Let's see here. There it is.
Meanwhile, Republican candidate Scott Walker is stopping in all 10 New Hampshire counties this weekend on his motorcycle.
Yeah, he started his day at Monroe's Family Restaurant in Twin Mountain, stopped in Conway, San Bernardino, Rochester, and the Salem Dairy Elks Lodge. Walker spoke about the changes he made for workers in Wisconsin.
What we did in Wisconsin was about taking the power away from the big government, union bosses, and putting the power back into the hands of the hardworking taxpayers in our state. That's pro-taxpayer. What we did was ultimately about giving people the freedom to choose whether or not they want to be in a labor union or not, for the right to work.
And the Labor Day schedule continues. Tonight, Governor Walker will attend a house party in Amherst.
So, Walker in New Hampshire yesterday, it was just a little clip. I also got another clip if you go to the slide presentation. It's about a 10-minute long video of one of Walker's supporters following him around in New Hampshire and getting a couple interviews with him here and there, following him around on the bike ride through New Hampshire. Pretty interesting for Labor Day. I know Hillary Clinton was out in New Hampshire yesterday, also Bernie Sanders. We had most of the presidential nominees for 2016 out in New Hampshire. I'm going to go to another song right now, and when I get back, I'm going to keep you up on some more current events. It's looking like 68 degrees outside right now. Pretty gloomy, rainy day. We don't need that right now, but we got it. Looks like it's going to be rainy the rest of the week, too, so enjoy that. We're going to play a little Talking Heads for you right now. Road to Nowhere.
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been. And we know what we're knowing, but we can't say what we've seen. And we're not little children, and we know what we want, and the future is certain. Give us
WADR 103.5 LPFM. You're listening to WADR Mornings with Reese Wood. A little Talking Heads Road to Nowhere for you. If you're just tuning in, I've been going through some current events. I have a slide presentation up on the WADR Mornings Facebook page. That is the best way to communicate with me while I'm live on the air, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., Mondays through Fridays. That's me, your host, Reese Wood. I'm going to be joining you 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. all week, 5 days a week, bringing you current events, news, everything going on in Janesville and the surrounding area as it impacts us. I've gone over a couple articles this morning. I discussed a recent article the Gazette put out. Janesville police remain a mostly white and changing society. It's an interesting article. Go to gazetteextra.com for that. Also, I talked about President Obama's executive order signing yesterday for Labor Day, signing an executive order getting 300,000 federal workers paid leave, paid sick leave. That includes maternity leave, and that is specifically for federal workers. So it does not extend into the regular labor movement. So, also, we have discussed a little bit about what Scott Walker was doing yesterday, out riding his Union bike in New Hampshire. Janesville Community Radio is looking for volunteers. I'd like to share a little bit about that. If you go to JanesvilleCommunityRadio.com, you can go to our volunteers page. You'll see the volunteer link. Go there. You're going to see a form. Just fill that out. There's a variety of volunteer positions now available. So if you've ever been interested in radio, or maybe you really like helping your community and being involved in your community, WADR is a great place to kind of focus your efforts and do something to get any kind of word out in your community. Of course, if you're someone who is busy in the community, I'm looking for interviews for this 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. spot. Maybe you want to come on with me and talk about what you do in our community. It'd be great to have you here as a guest. We're going to play a couple more songs this morning, and I will be back. Right now it's 68 degrees outside. Might see a high of 80 today. I am hearing some thunder out the studio window right now, so it is picking up out there. A little windy as well, 18 to 30 mile per hour winds. I'll be back in just a minute. Let's play a little, what do we got here? I'm liking Kurt Vile lately.
You got wise blood.
WADR 103.5 FM. You're listening to Mornings with Reese Wood. It's now 7:44 a.m. We got about 15 more minutes before I get out of here. Of course, I'm going to be here every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., bringing you the weather, current events, and anything I can to talk about the community. If you're familiar with the Beloit podcast at all, that's exactly what I do with the Beloit podcast. I talk about everything going on in our community and the surrounding area as it impacts us. I do talk to people who stay busy, doing things they love doing. And you'd be surprised. We got a community just loaded full of people and great history, just all kinds of great stuff to cover that you do not hear, I would say, on regular FM radio. So LP, low-powered FM radio stations are a new thing, and it's a great thing to have to get community words out, to get community-related communications going. It's definitely something we need. We could definitely use this community radio station. The radio station is located at 321 East Milwaukee Street in Janesville. I will be here live every morning, Monday through Friday. I'm going to play a local artist for you before I get out of here today. Darius Pittman's Fire with Fire. Nice acoustic track. If you're looking for everything I talked about this morning, I did talk about President Obama's new executive order on Labor Day. Also, Scott Walker was busy yesterday riding his Union bike around New Hampshire with other presidential candidates. I also talked about a couple articles in the Janesville Gazette from yesterday. All right, and also I'm just gonna get into one more track, and I'll be back in a minute. Need a quick break here, so I'll get back in a second. Here's Darius Pittman with Fire with Fire. Darius Pittman was just on the Beloit podcast about a month ago now. Great interview. Check that out at thebeloitpod.com.
Every time I close my eyes at night, what did I do wrong? You think the only way for you to win is fight? Well, who are you in the ring with? If we keep fighting fire with fire, one day we all will burn. Gotta remind ourselves to fight that fire with water, then maybe you could learn to look inside yourself. Dictate every part of your day. Now how does your day feel? You keep this up, the ones you love will walk away, and you can trust me that they will. They will. Yeah. If we keep fighting fire with fire, one day we all will burn. Fire with water, then maybe we can learn to look inside ourselves. gotta remind ourselves to fight that fire with water, then maybe we could learn to look inside ourselves.
You're listening to WADR LP 103.5 FM in Janesville, Wisconsin. It's 7:51 a.m. My name's Paul Kraft. Run down a few scores for you from yesterday. The Brewers all over Miami, in Miami. Not that exciting. 9-1. The Cubs continue to dominate all over St. Louis. In St. Louis, 9-0. Bittersweet day for us in Beloit yesterday as the Snappers finish out their regular season. Sad to see it come to an end, but they did win, and they won in a little bit of dramatic fashion. Quad Cities took the lead earlier in the game, and then we have a few clips that we put together to summarize things. And here's when Beloit gets right back into it.
So, yep, you're
4-3 victory over the Quad Cities River Bandits. Breaking ball is hanging. Brizuela is swinging. High line drive deep into right field. Laureano will need a ticket to catch this one. It is gone.
There we go.
Jose Brizuela goes deep, and the Snappers are on the board. They have the lead 2-1 here in the fourth inning. Bill Chine.
Brazilia hit a home run to take the lead. The Snappers would give up the lead again. One more time, but they regained it and didn't look back. And here's a wrap-up of the season with the Snappers' own Bill Chaya.
Fly into center. Higley is there. He makes the catch. That's the ball game, and that is the season. The Snappers had a tough year, but they finished 2015 with a 4-3 victory over the Quad Cities River Bandits. Breaking ball is hanging. Brizuela.
On a humid day in Beloit, the Snappers did win 4-3. Quad Cities is the hottest team in the division. They're playoff bound. Beloit is not. Yesterday was it. We had a lot of fun. We are very proud to be partners with the Beloit Snappers. WADR is, and we look forward to another year or hopefully more and expanded coverage of their games in Beloit. They're a Class A organization, both literally and figuratively. They are a nonprofit organization, and they are very community-oriented. We're very proud, once again, to be a part of them. And this is just a quick wrap-up with Bill Chaya of their season.
so good day in Wisconsin for Brewers and Snappers.
Yeah, I mean, they're not – either team is going nowhere, but, you know, you don't win every year. And I just have a short clip of Bill Chaya wrapping up the season right here quick.
Nice.
Bill Chaya is saying so long from Pullman Field here in Beloit, Wisconsin. The 2015 season ends on a high note. Your final score today, Beloit Snappers 4, Quad Cities River Bandits 3. So long, folks. Have a great winter. You've been listening all summer to Beloit Snappers baseball here on Janesville Community Radio. Fly.
I got to tell you, when I heard that, I got a little emotional. But I spent a lot of time there this summer, had a blast, great people. And we'll be back next summer. I'm confident of it. So thanks, Reese.
Yeah, very cool to hear that WADR has been covering all the Snappers games, as many as possible at least. We're going to get to Democracy Now! In about 5 minutes. If you stay tuned, we'll be hearing from Amy Goodman and Democracy Now! Always a good program. Good way to stay up on current events, international events especially. If you're trying to get current events, WADR 103.5 FM is the place to stay tuned in 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. every morning. I'm going to be bringing you our area's local current events as they impact us, the Janesville community. This is Janesville Community Radio, WADR 103.5. This is your morning show host, Reese Wood. About to sign out. I'm going to play a Joe Strummer track for you, Johnny Appleseed. I don't know how many have heard that one. Before that, before our last break, our music break, we played Darius Pittman, Fire with Fire. You go to YouTube and just search Darius Pittman. You're going to find his YouTube channel. He's a great local artist, and he has a lot of acoustic songs on there. I've played his George Harrison's While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Very good local artist. He's also performing live, I believe, at Applebee's in Beloit. I don't know if it's every week or once a month. I'm going to have to check that and give you updates. I will be back tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in. Let's get into that. Joe Strummer. All right, we're going to keep trying here. Looks like I'm having some issues, but we'll get it straightened out here. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Joe Strummer, Johnny Appleseed. Thanks for joining me. WADR mornings, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., Mondays through Fridays.
Lord, there goes Johnny Appleseed. He might pass by in the hour of need. There's a lot of soul drinking from the well, locked in a factory. But there goes, you have to get the honey. Then you don't go killing all the bees. Lord, there goes Martin Luther King. Notice how the door closes when the chimes of freedom ring. I hear what you're saying. I hear what he's saying. Is what was true now no longer so. I hear what you're saying. I hear what he's saying. You have to get the honey. Then you don't go killing all the bees. What the people are saying. We know every road. Oh, God. What the people are saying. There ain't no berries on the trees. Let the summertime sun fall on the apple. Lord, there goes a Buick 49, black sheep with the angels riding down the line.